How's it going, Short Kings? It's week 15, and I'm a little bit sick. We are on a bye week, and we'll just do a little bit of recruiting and then get into our bowl game to finish out the season. If we take a look at what we've got, actually a surprising amount of commits now. 28 players on the board for us to look from. We get 25 scholarships, and we've got a solid amount committed already. Of course, lots of running backs and a lot of the same position stuff, so we'll have to be changing a lot of positions, and that might hurt us. But there's only a few players that we are even competing for. Everybody else we seem to have the lead with, so we're just going to go ahead and put the final 1,000 points towards some lower guys and hope that we can manage to snag a few. There's only 3 that hopefully we won't be able to sign, and if we're lucky it'll be just the lower overall guys. Kendrick Washington is one of those guys, so I'm actually going to take points away from that lower overall, and if we don't pick him up, that's not the end of the world, because I'd much rather have Eric Hall. Eric Hall is one of 2 guys who we can set up for a visit in this bye week and get some extra points, him and Kendrick Washington. So we'll go ahead and do that, and that'll be it for our bye week. Sim to the conference championship, which we will not get a play in because we didn't do well enough in our conference schedule, and then sim through that week as well to get to the bowl game. In a recruiting battle with a few guys, Grady Marks and Gabe Hollins, the 2 middle linebackers, if we could get both of them, that would be so massive for the defense. We stay at that number 22 ranking spot, and we can take a look here to see what the conference championship games are. Southern Miss in Western Kentucky for the CUSA, so that's at least 3 top 25 teams for our conference. UConn and Houston in the American, TAMU and Tennessee in the SEC. That one's pretty interesting. 12-0 Tennessee. Western Arizona and San Diego State in the Mountain West. Stanford and UCLA in the Pac-12, Virginia Tech, Clemson in the ACC, Michigan State and Nebraska in the Big Ten, and Bowling Green at Western Michigan in the MAC. And just a quick refresher here at the top 25 polls. This is the BCFs because it's the one that matters. You can see in the top 4 undefeated teams. This is the BCS era though, so there's no playoff. Oklahoma wins their conference, but because it's the old Big 12, there's no conference championship games, which means they're probably going to be on the outside looking in if Clemson or Houston can manage to win, and they're definitely going to be rooting for all 3 of these teams around them to lose. Oh man, Tommy Armstrong is going to end up winning the Heisman out of Nebraska, and just like real life, Christian McCaffrey, and just in general, a Stanford player coming in 2nd in the Heisman voting. Josh Dobbs there at 3rd from Tennessee. Baker Mayfield doesn't end up winning it at Oklahoma, and 69 votes there for Foreman out of Texas. We are not getting that free trip to Hawaii like we expected. We will be playing in the Armed Forces Bowl against a 7-5 unranked Fresno State out of the Mountain West. Yeah, at least we get to be in a slightly warm Texas, headed to Fort Worth almost at the end of the year. And Gene Nunez is going to win Returner of the Year. Well, I mean, it was pretty obvious. If he didn't win it, it would be a sham. Before we get into our game, we'll take a look at what happened in that conference championship week. Tennessee does beat TAMU to go undefeated. Clemson beats Virginia Tech in the ACC, which allows them to jump Oklahoma. Houston wins but doesn't move. Stanford beat UCLA, so there's a mix-up there for the Rose Bowl. But it looks like it's going to be Tennessee and Clemson in the BCS National Championship game. Some bowl games of note: Nebraska, Stanford in the Rose Bowl. North Carolina, Arkansas in the Fiesta Bowl. Oklahoma, Houston in the Sugar Bowl. Iowa, UCLA in the Orange Bowl. Florida, Texas in the Cotton Bowl. And there it is. Clemson, Tennessee in the Natty. Well, there's no recruiting for us to do, so we'll get into this. Fresno State actually a lower overall than us. They're a C-, we're a C. We've got the edge in most statistical categories. Herb Street will say that we're going to win, and we're going to go right into it with that 2 overall advantage. The top players for the Bulldogs are going to be a wide receiver, 3 wide receivers, all 77 overall. So they might dot us up through the air. But if we can keep the passing game in check, we should be able to run away with this. They've got a outside linebacker that's gone and a center that's probable, but I have a feeling the Vasquez is going to probably play. It's a nice sunny day here, December 29th in Fort Worth, Texas. That's where it said we were, right? These guys, again, you know, surprisingly, not a huge amount of passing yards per game, but similar points per game, and we'll get into it. Leave it on the field is what it said during the montage, and we're definitely gonna hope for that. Just need to get off to a nice strong start in this bowl game, and I think we should be able to at least stay competitive throughout. We get the coin toss as the away team will win it, and I'm gonna decide to kick this one off. Get the ball to start the third quarter. All of our adjustments have been made, and Jolly gets a boot on it. Decent kick. Almost into the end zone to start off this bowl game. The Armed Forces Bowl, they get a pretty solid return. They're out past the 25. We'll see if the defense wants to show up today. Fresno's going to put it to the ground immediately, and this is going to be a big run. They get the edge, and while the Dwarves are chasing them down, they're still going to get 17 yards there. Dontel James, good carry. This is another one of those teams that's going to run the hurry up on us, so that could be interesting. See if we can manage to stop this run a little bit. They go back to the edge, and it's just another solid carry. 6 more yards for James. On second down, they're going to run to the edge again. Can we get a stop? Missing diving tackles. Just like that, they're across midfield. This hurry up can really start to hurt us if we aren't careful and we're unable to get stops. Well, I feel like I mumbled that, but we finally do get one there and allow us to rest a little bit. 2nd and 14, we're going to expect them to pass. They will step up, and it's a screen. I was a little bit late to react to it, but thankfully, the CPU's got my back. It's a tackle for loss. And just like that, it's 3rd and 19. Big chance for the defense to get off the field. They're going to go deep, and Penn can't come down with it, but he still gets the deflection. It's a real shame. I would have loved an interception, but we will absolutely take the punt and the stop on 4th down. That'll bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and we're going to see our offense come out and do some work. I want to open this one up with a run to Talib Noel on the read option, and hey, if they want to run to the edge with success, we'll try to run up the middle with the same success. Now going to the air, trying to be patient, and ooh, really bad pass that time from Richie Kirk. We just saw a game update. The running back for Fresno State is out for the game with back spasms as Talib just goes over the back of a man for that 1st down. I want to try to get a little bit more edge rushing in, but just had to cut it north and get the yard that we could. 2nd and 9, I'm going to just try to be safe, get some completed passes under Richie's belt, and even if that leaves us with a 3rd and long, the sooner we can get his arm dialed in, the better. Looking for the slant. Donnie has a step on his man, reaches and grabs, and gets us to midfield with the 15-yard reception. Stuff like that's really going to help our offense, and gosh, we need to make sure that our offensive line's getting a little bit of work done. Try to utilize Bing on the right hash with a screen. And oh man, they have that covered way too well. I just had to get rid of it. The defense was all over that screen. It would have been stupid to make the pass. And wow, that was just a really bad pass. I didn't throw to the receiver that one went to. So can't convert on 3rd and long. And now we're going to be forced to punt it away. This should be decent. No, not very good at all. At about the 25. Could have been at least 10 yards deeper. So we trade field position a couple of times, but at the end, we're right back to square one. And they're going to continue this running game. The man in motion, bringing pressure. They hand it off up the middle and get the 1st down. They want to run to the edge. We can try and, oh gosh, that was terrible coverage for me. We can try the corner blitz, but they go to the air that time, and it's hard to use a defensive tackle in coverage. Need to get a stop soon. They're going to go deep. And Lester, oh, Devin Lester can't get it. It's our second dropped interception of the game. I really hope plays like that don't come back to bite us in the ass, as they are not passing well, but we were maybe getting a little bit lucky. 3rd and 10. Gotta be cautious of the screen here. They won't go for it. They will go deep, and Penn gets the stop. Oh, wow. 50-50 ball, and Penn said no thank you. Knocked it loose. That's going to force them to try a field goal. This is like a 60-yarder. So we'll see if maybe we can have G. Nunez, the returner of the year, give us a kick 6, or no, he can just drill that. He had maybe another 5 yards on that one. What an absolute cannon of a leg. He cleared that by a mile. It ends up being a 57-yarder, and he easily could have had 60. Well, now that I know what kind of boot the other kicker has on him, I got to be a little bit cautious about where we put their guys. G. Nunez, though, saying a little something in return. Gives us great field position. No penalties on the play. That puts us across midfield, and I'd like to continue to pass with Richie. See if we can get something, although on this one, we're just going to scramble. Take whatever we can. Oh my gosh, I fumbled it. Fresno State recovered it and got out of bounds. Oh no. The worst part about that fumble in the field position is that they're almost in field goal range already. They're going to put this one on the ground with a counter, and he's got a lot of green. Need the tackle. And thankfully the gang shows up, but yep, they're in field goal range just like that near the end of the first. 1st and 10. Going back to pass, and they get aggressive, and again, it's knocked loose. You know, our deep ball coverage has been something special so far today, but I want to start seeing a couple turnovers from these guys. They're going to throw that one out of bounds, and Chase and Virgil, 2 of 8 through the air so far, 3rd and 10. Again, always got to be wary of the screen, but I think this is just going to be a normal pass. And I'll let them dump it off to the running back in hopes that we get the stop, and we should see another field goal here. Just because I don't trust anything, we're going to be in the field goal safe. I got to expect this kicker drills it. And oof, he almost pushed it wide, but sneaks it in, and Fresno's going to take a 6-0 lead. 1 second left in the first quarter. We'll see. Nunez might have another decent return up his sleeve. But as we head into the second quarter, it looks like we're going to have actually pretty good field position again. See if the offense can do something with it. We'll open up this quarter with a read option. And, you know, if Richie makes another mistake, we might have to put Chip Breedlove in. Some terribly inaccurate passes. Oh, gosh, another one there. And, you know, alongside the fumble, it's not a good game for Richie so far. We're going to rely on Talib's leg to try to get this first down, but this might be 4-down territory. Goodness, no. 4th and 9. Fresno State absolutely has our number, and it's up to Brad Gaddis to give us a good punt. Try to help us with the field position again. I put it at the 20, but could have been a little bit deeper. What's most worrisome to me right now is just how much time the defense has been on the field. Do a good job stopping the run that time, but I'm a little bit worried these guys are going to get tired. Plenty of time. Oh my gosh, I knew that that route was coming. I just screwed up covering it, and they get the completion for the first down. 1st and 10, they run it again, and we're starting to seal the running game off a little bit. And ooh, they tried to go with this screen and just threw it right into our defensive end. It is a real shame that Keon Wilcox couldn't get his hands up on that pass, because that was going to look nice, and there's some good user there. Another swatted pass, 4th and 7. So far, it's been a defensive struggle and a field position battle. The only thing is that they've got a really good place kicker to bail them out. G. Nunez is bailing us out a little bit. And once again, we're starting a drive near midfield. The biggest problem is that in almost a quarter and a half of game time, we have now just over 40 yards of offense. I can't help but wonder if the undersized line is going to make us pay. There's a man open. Okay, we find Khalif James, and we're near the red zone, but there's a flag down. How bad is this going to be against us? A face mask. Okay. Well, the personal foul puts us at the 10. It's not a first and goal, which makes me think maybe we could pick up a first down if we get stuffed, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Noel, great carry, gets 7 yards inside the 5. The best news so far is that even though our offense hasn't been stellar, our defense has done a good enough job, and if we could score a touchdown, we would take the lead just like that. 3rd and 2 now, 3 minutes in the half. Also important to remember, we get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. The halfback dive, nowhere to go for Talib Noel. It's 4th and 3. Oh, decision time here. I think we kick the field goal. Our defense has been stellar so far, and we need points on the board, so we will make it a field goal game. Give them the ball back with 2.5 to go before halftime. Just have to hope that the defense continues to hold, and I have a lot of faith that they will. Not a great kick. They're going to get a good return out past the 30. Got to expect us to do well. They go with the screen, and that's a solid play call, but they get tackled inbounds. All 3 timeouts for Fresno State, but not a huge amount of time to work with. Let's see, they're in the hurry up now. Just over 2 minutes to go now. Quarterback's going to scramble. He's going to get sacked, and it's now 3rd and 8. That's a pretty staggering stat, although I'm a little bit worried about it. 0-4 so far for the Bulldogs on 3rd down. See if we can make it 0-5. I've left my man open. There's another sack. We'll take a timeout. 4th and 11, 1:32 on the clock, and the defense holds. If Gene Nunez can give us a decent enough return here, we could see some more points before the half, but he's going to need a block for that to happen. Only a yard on the return. We don't happen to have a great kicker, so it's a ways to go before we're even in field goal range. And oof, we get hit as we're throwing that one. 3 of 8 for Richie Kirk. Neither team able to pass well. I think I got to be looking at Donnie Schaefer here. Actually, oh wow.
Bruh.
Wow, AJ Norton had a step on his man, but Richie just cannot throw today. I'm pulling him. 3 of 9 through the air, and now an interception and a fumble to add to the mix. Richie has been unable to get it done. Now Fresno State might be in a scoring position again. They're just about in field goal range. Oh, we got to hit those tackles too. First time out taken for the Bulldogs. 2nd and 5 now. And they get a completion, but it's short of the line to gain. So with 50 seconds to go, they're going to go for it on 3rd down. I was a little bit too slow with Ferris, so they get the first down and take their 2nd timeout. It would be fantastic if we can manage to grab ourselves an interception here, although I don't expect it. Lots of out routes. Chase and Virgil's scrambling, and we'll get the tackle. Inbounds and short of the line, so clock will be moving. I'm almost hoping for them to just have bad clock management here. Plenty of guys open, and there we go. They just missed the pass. Incompletion, 3rd and 5, half a minute. They're now 1 of 6 on 3rd downs, so not a great record. And terrible user there. I gave that one up. They get the 1st and goal at the 5 with 17 seconds to go, hoping that we can hold them to a field goal. We're gonna go to the air, and the touchdown, too easy, a little bit too tall for our corner there. And with 9 seconds to go before the half, they're going to take that 10-point lead. Really got to rely on Gene Nunez here, I think. It's time to bring in Chip Breedlove. Richie had his opportunity. He had a half of gameplay to work with, and he couldn't do anything with it. So we'll give the backup a shot to prove that he's worth it. And who knows, maybe we can see something magical here. 4 seconds before the half, we're going to heave one deep. They're not really playing anybody deep. I see a man open. It's way overthrown. Khalif James had 5 yards on his man. But Chip just, we need an accurate quarterback so bad. 13-3 as we walk into the locker room. I know there was a deep safety to stop it, but you got to expect your quarterback to hit a wide open man like that. Oh, man. We go into the half, and really it was a story of our defense doing a serviceable job, and the offense unable to get anything done. So now we'll just get into the third quarter right away, and just hope that something breaks in this Fresno State defense that allows us to get some work done, or maybe we can have Gene do all the work for us. In a foot race, he'll be across midfield, and you know, the way this game's going, maybe field goals is all it's going to take to win. We're going to drop back to pass on the first play, and there we go. Finding Khalif James in stride gets us to the 25. We'll give the ball to Talib here, right up the middle for another gain of 8 or so. Really got to hope somebody comes open here. Again, Chip's not quite as fast as Richie, but it seems like he's a lot more accurate so far. That's a 1st and goal to A.J. Norton. A 2 of 3 start through the air is fantastic for Chip compared to what Richie was doing. And we give it to Talib, who's able to cut back and get 4 yards. And with the 2nd and goal at the 2, we're going to try a little QB sneak and see if Chip can just manage to stumble his way forward. It looked like he got a little bit of it, but then went backwards, so we're centered up on 3rd and goal. See if I can get this playoff in time. We're going to go with the pitch to Talib Noel. On 3rd and goal, he's got some blocks, and there's a good touchdown. Finally getting into the end zone, and it's back to a 3-point game. Hopefully that long halftime break as well as the opening drive allowed our defense to get some much needed rest, and we can see them come out and get some more stops to start this one. On 1st down, they'll go to the air, and that's a sack for us. Jason Virgil started to run. Their passing game hasn't been good, and our defensive line has done a fantastic job. Definitely expecting a pass on 2nd and 13, but they go draw, and we get a solid tackle. It's 3rd and long, and they have not done well on 3rd downs today. See if we can hold these guys on this 3rd down. It's 3rd and 7. Guys coming open, and just a little bit too lax on the coverage. Oh, Devin Lester. Again, there's another swatted pass. We got to get a pick here. It's a 3-point game, and we're losing the turnover battle by 1. As again, just lax coverage. They seem to be marching down the field on us. That's a good 1st down carry. And something's got to budge in this offense. D's got to get it figured out. We're going to bring pressure, and that worked fine. Good blitz. They'll lose 3 yards. Getting them in these 3rd down situations seems to bode well for us. And again, man open. They get the completion, but he steps out of bounds. So 4th and 1, I think we'll probably see the field goal team. It is the field goal formation. We're going to be just in the zone here. We don't want any trick plays. I'm fine with giving up 3 points. And we know it's not likely to be returnable, but ooh, kicker. Yeah. Fine with that. Just whiffed it. Well, Trip Breedlove came in and led the team down the field for a nice touchdown last time they were out. He's going to find A.J. Norton on that pass and get 10 more. Seems like we might have had a Richie Kirk problem in the 1st half. Give this one to Talib up the middle on 2nd down, and I'm going to bounce to the edge and then just cut up north for the 1st down. Near midfield, just like that. Talib with another great carry that time. And again, just following our blockers, it's working well right now. Even though Chip has been having a pretty solid game so far, I still know how inaccurate he really is, so the more we can do on the ground, the better, and that's going to be a face mask added on to the end of that run. Well, I'm going to knock on wood here real quick because I have a feeling we should be able to tie the ball game up here unless we, turn the ball over. But at least should be a field goal as we get 3 more on the ground. And this will be the final play of the 3rd quarter, barring something interesting happening. Donald Irby comes in, 2nd and 7 on this stretch, and we're able to stretch him a little bit. That looked like another face mask. That'll give us a very generous 1st and goal.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, at the end of the third quarter, down 3, but that face mask gives us a very generous 1st and goal from the 3. So we absolutely are looking to take the lead going into the fourth quarter. This play worked great last time we were at about this position. It's the toss play, but this time 1st and goal. Noel just needs one block, and he's in. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. And I don't know what wide receiver is out there on the edge, but those blocks are fantastic. Up by 3. The extra point will make it a 4-point game. And the defense just needs 1 or 2 more stops, and this bold victory will be in the bag. It would be kind of ridiculous, but we are on the cusp of having a 10-win season in year 1 here. Although I do think the team will get worse as we struggle to find players for the right positions. Wow. Fresno State, a lot of penalties. It's actually kind of astonishing how many personal fouls have been called against Fresno State. And that's certainly helped us. Nice. Open man there across the middle. I think we're going to see them starting to get a little bit desperate. They go for the little dump off, and it manages to get 8. Chad Olson looking good there. On 2nd and 2, they'll put the ball on the ground. Oh, I was in the backfield ready to stop that. But we give up the big run across midfield. It gives Fresno a good 1st down. 5 minutes to go in the game. They need a touchdown. They have not had a whole lot of success finding the end zone so far. Defense only needs to really pick up 1 more stop, and I think we can burn a lot of this time off, especially if we can get another score. That's a draw, and it's a good one at that. Gives them a 3rd and short, but the clock will keep ticking away on them. We're going to try to bring this pressure on 3rd down. Little blitz. They go with the option. We'll hit the quarterback, and unfortunately, we don't cover off the pitch man, and they pick up the 1st down, but it looks like O'Neal might be injured. It would be terrible news for Fresno if they lose their 1st and 2nd string running backs, and looks like they are onto their 3rd string temporarily. Though he doesn't seem too terrible yet. 1st carry goes for a 1st down. Yeah, both running backs out for the rest of the game, really. Out for the rest of the season, I guess you could say, with back spasms. Perry's back is going to be on alert right now, as he's going to get another carry, and it's another good one. That's a high average for the 3rd stringer so far. It feels like they're probably going to run this. 2nd and 2. We'll see. No, they go to the air, and they find a man. And we hit him with the big hit, but it's 3rd down. He got a yard. Absolutely devastating hit there. I'm really glad that they didn't get the 1st down, but they probably will run it here. Good pressure. There it is. 4th and 2. Great job from the defensive line. They blew that play up quick, and we were in the backfield like that. Fresno State's going to elect to go for it here on 4th and 2. They've got their 4th string running back, Oglesby, in. We're going to bring pressure. They go with the option. Can Caps get there in time? No. Benjamin hits him but doesn't take him to the ground, and it's a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line for the Fresno State Bulldogs with 3 minutes to go in the game. Oh, no. And the problem is they're still in running range. It might come down to our offense, which has not been a good thing so far today. Defense can't hold Oglesby. Goes to the edge and is in for 6. The 4th string running back had no problems getting that one in. And, you know, take a look there. Maybe a reason why they were so good. Everybody, except for the defensive line, was dead tired at the end of the drive. That was a long drive. They cap it off with the extra point, and we are down 3 with under 3 minutes to go in this game. Who knows? Maybe Gene will do a typical Gene play right here. Oh, 1 man to beat, and that's a touchdown. Still a good return and no penalties. It's fantastic. They have way outgained us in total yardage. Over 100 more. Well, none of it would matter if we managed to score with a walk-off here. If we score, I'd like it to be the final play, although we got to get there first. Talib's going to lose 2 yards, 2nd and 12. We're really hoping that Chip can be accurate here. We'll go to the air. And, you know, we're just going to roll outside the pocket and try to throw back. A.J. Norton, and, oh no, it's intercepted. 3 turnovers in the game, and that one was just too high for him. If Norton's taller, he catches that, or at least gets a hand on it. Hawk Disco really giving Chip an earful there. These guys are going to go 5 wide. It looks like they want to pass. I'm curious as to the decision-making. We need a stop, or at least hold them to a field goal here. And, gosh, I had so many guys to worry about there. They get an easy completion. And this might be it. Thankfully for me, they're still in the hurry-up for some reason. And it doesn't help that we're not able to tackle. Come on, guys. Just like that. 2 minutes to go, and they get another first down. And absolutely rough. They're going to continue to go for it. Okay, there's a sack. We'll take our first timeout, 2nd and 17. If we can hold them to a field goal on this drive, oh gosh, if we can tackle them first, we will still have a chance to win with a touchdown. This is absolutely not the play that we wanted. 3rd and 6, they're 5 wide, they're going to go to the air. The question is, can we stop like the slants that are going to come in? And the answer is no. I honestly should have let them take that into the end zone. It's 1st and goal. We only have 1 timeout to go. I needed to be focusing on that mid-range pass a little bit too much. The cover 3 was a bad idea there. And it's almost worth it to let them score, but I got to just hope that they screw it up somehow. Final timeout taken, down 3, 1:16 to go. Probably should have let them score. Not really sure what to do here. If we let them get into the end zone, we still have a chance. So thankfully they score, and it's going to take a miracle, but 1:13, we could have something crazy happen still. This is just a bummer. 3 turnovers in the game, 2 interceptions and a fumble, and we're only down 10. If we could just hold on to the ball, we would have this in the bag. All right, maybe a Gene Nunez kick return followed by an onside kick. You never know. Nunez, maybe a couple pancakes here would be nice. Nothing doing. We're inside the 20. Oh, the one time we don't get good blocking. Well, it's gonna take a miracle. That we can at least hope for. Oh gosh, what a terrible pass. Oh, we need a new quarterback, guys. Desperately need a new quarterback. Just start throwing up some 4 verts and hope that we can find something. And, oh, it would have been nice if Norton could have caught that off the deflection. 3rd and 10. We're now down to 3 and 6 on 3rd downs, and Chip Breedlove is 3 of 7 with an interception. Although he does have maybe a man coming open. Oh, AJ can't hold on to that one through the contact. 4th and 10, game on the line. Go with the 4 verts one more time. See if somebody manages to sneak free. And you know what? Never mind. Wow, we take a sack. Couldn't get the pass off in time. He was in the middle of releasing it, but just gets obliterated. No blocking that time from the offensive line. It's a turnover on downs with 53 seconds to go, and we have no timeouts. I'd be surprised if they did anything other than take a knee here, but it looks like victory formation for Fresno State. And the Armed Forces Bowl is going to go the way of the Bulldogs. It was a decent effort from the Dwarves, and we can't be too upset. 9 and 4 at the end of our inaugural season. But I was just, you know, we were in a position where we easily could have won this game, and we screwed it up with some costly mistakes. But as the clock hits 000 here in Fort Worth, it will be the Bulldogs that are bowl champions here. And we just, you know, started the first half with a solid defense and no offense, and went into the second half with mediocre defense and still no offense. Play of the game is Chip Breedlove getting sacked. That's never good news. Really hoping that this confetti would have fallen for us, but the red team wins today. And Richie and Chip better spend the offseason working on their accuracy, because we desperately need something like that. I accidentally skipped through the end of the game stats, so we'll have to find that another way. But just the quick overview. Again, more first downs for them, more rushing yards, more passing. They kept us to under 150 yards total. Just awful. 3 turnovers. They win the time of possession battle. Really, it looks like we got dominated in every facet of the game. Talib Noel had a solid day. He had those 2 touchdown runs, but other than that, it just couldn't get it going. Well, here's our stats. So, both quarterbacks pretty awful. 3 of 8 and 3 of 9. Not a whole lot of yards and an interception for each of them, so just combined garbage. Long of 24 on the day. We were only sacked once, but that doesn't matter a whole lot when you can't do anything anyways. On the ground, Talib and Irby did alright, but the 2 quarterbacks just looking pretty rough. AJ Norton and Khalif James trying to help out the team, with Schaefer grabbing one as well. And on defense, a few guys trying, but so many dropped interceptions. And can I sort this by QB sacks? No, it won't let me, so we'll have to manually look. Lawrence had 2 sacks. He was our defensive player of the game. Tyson had 1, and I think it was, Keon Wilcox with the final one. In the kick return game, G. Nunez did solid. 6 returns for 231 yards, an average of almost 40 in a long of 58, but no touchdowns. You know, we couldn't rely on that magic this time around. We'll take a quick look at some bowl games. Western Arizona beats Arizona State. That's honestly a pretty interesting matchup, although the team's obviously pretty mismatched. 7-6 Arizona State loses to 11-3 Western Arizona, and the Giraffes finished the season ranked 19th. Florida State, for some reason, matched up with and beat Marshall in the Belk Bowl. In a barn burner, LSU wins by 3 against Georgia Tech in the Music City Bowl. Virginia Tech pitches a shutout against Auburn in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Bama does almost the same thing to Michigan in the Gator Bowl. In the Rose Bowl, it's Nebraska beating up Stanford. Nebraska ends the season at number 3. North Carolina beats Arkansas in the Fiesta Bowl. Oklahoma wins over Houston in the Sugar Bowl. UCLA takes it the Orange Bowl over Iowa. Texas dominates Florida in the Cotton Bowl. And in the BCS National Championship game, it's Clemson, god damn it, going 14-0 over Tennessee. They win it by a touchdown, and they will finish as the #1 team in the country, obviously. The final coaches poll of the season shows Clemson is the unanimous #1, followed by an undefeated Oklahoma, Nebraska, Tennessee, UCLA, Houston, Ohio State, North Carolina, Iowa, and rounding out the top 10 is Texas A&M. Southern Miss and San Diego State, Western Kentucky, some notable, interesting ones, along with Arkansas and Western Arizona in this top 25, and Alabama ends their season 8-5, just barely back into the top 25. We do manage to get 2 first-team All-Americans. Gavin Tyson, we're going to miss him. 75 overall isn't great, but the redshirt senior gets it done. And then, of course, Gene Nunez is the returner. Brent Capps will make it as a second-team All-American. And we've got a solid amount of players in the All-CUSA. Talib Noel, Keon Wilcox, Gavin Tyson, Brent Capps, Brock Ferris, Donnell Jolly somehow makes it, and Gene Nunez on the first team. And on the second team, it's AJ Norton and Jeremy Lawrence. All in all, the end of a very solid first season. I do think we're a 72 overall team right now. I think that we're going to drop a little bit as we lose some seniors and have to struggle to fill a few positions. But it's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Very curious to see how this goes. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel to see more. And if you want to see some more NCAA or maybe even a little bit of Madden, we will be live throughout the week over on twitch.tv/poonmaster69 with some really interesting dynasties and franchises. But regardless, my name is Poon, you guys are the Short Kings, and wherever you are, have a good night or have a good morning, and we'll see you later. Adios.